go back through your text and look for your element as it appears throughout the text. So symbols in Sound of Thunder, dialogue in Sound of Thunder. And then as a group, you will identify a theme statement as we just practiced. So topic with a key insight, and you'll put it in that space on the graphic organizer. And then you will just go through the text, beginning, middle, and end, and look for places in which that element appears that helps sort of develop the theme in the story. Because like we said, the author does not come out and tell us these themes. We have to kind of infer them based on these elements in the text. So here's my model. I looked at changes in character for Snack Attack because the old lady, I think she changes and grows. She starts out angry and mean, and she ends up kind and appreciative. Remember the kind smile she gives him at the very end when she's on the bus and realizes what happened? So I see a change in character. So I put, for the beginning, sweet old granny is clearly angry and beats the vending machine for cookies. Punk teen sitting on bench near graffiti with loud music in his ears. Notice I also have put in my parenthetical citation, so you'll do author's last name and page number. I did the seconds within the video. And then she proceeds to eat the cookies, peeved when the teen does too. The teen is texting someone about her. The cookie pack is down to one. Teen goes to eat it and granny gets angry. The teen splits the cookie in half to share with her. She angrily crumbles that last half up and sprinkles it in front of him. The train pulls up, so she gets on to leave. Upon reaching in for her ticket, she sees her cookies in the bag. And then at the end, she flashes back to the full memory of how she behaved, the way she treated him, realizing all along how she was behaving. And then she shakes that memory off and kind of looks at him fondly and smiles with kindness. So I really feel like she experiences this change of, I totally had this perception of who this kid was, and he did not meet that in reality. He was a much kinder person than that. So I think she grows and changes through experiencing that theme. Perceptions are not always reality. Okay? So that is my example. Coming back to what you are doing. So each of you has a different element on your graphic organizer. You are analyzing a Sound of Thunder. So as a group, determine a topic and insight from a Sound of Thunder to create a theme and put it on that line. And then you'll revisit the story. Don't miss this step because we're going to use this tomorrow, okay? In your text, I want you to go through, and if we have repeated use of symbols, every repeated use of a symbol in the text, I want this group to highlight in any color. You'll notice there's highlighters in your pouch. And then in the margin, just label it theme development. So help them out, y'all. What symbols might be important in a Sound of Thunder? It could be things, it could be a phrase. Butterfly effect, yeah, absolutely. The time machine. What does Travis keep saying, and I pointed it out yesterday, that he repeats it several times. Stay on the path, very good. Stay on the path. Look back at the story, you'll see that several times. That could count as a symbol, as something that's important and gets repeated. So that's what you'll do for step 2. Your group will look at your element throughout the whole text and highlight it and label it. Okay, that's your first annotation unless you made a few yesterday. And then you'll fill in the graphic organizer together with evidence from the text, beginning, middle, and end. So what you just highlighted, you kind of summarize those into the 5 boxes to see that theme evolve and develop. I made you some suggested group roles. Looks like some of you are already ready to take on roles and get together. Here are some suggested group roles if you need it, especially groups of 3 to work beautifully. A leader to facilitate the discussion and keep y'all on track and make sure you're getting your graphic organizer filled out. The speaker will share out during whole group instruction. If we don't have time today, we'll do that in the coming days. And can ask me if you need any help. And then the writer is someone who writes neatly, can fill in the graphic organizer. Don't forget your citations. Listen, Garrett, listen, guys. And then everyone is a collaborator helping find the evidence and highlight in our stories and label it and talk about that theme development. What questions do you have before I let you loose? Start digging for these themes. All right, in your pouches you have highlighters. Any color will do. You have the signposts if that helps you. And you may have sticky notes if you need them. All right, dig in. Get to looking for these themes. Okay.
Oh, and then we do Battleship.
Wait, we don't have? I do an Marine today? Out of the pink.
It's this.
Are you okay with that?
This is our homework.
Oh, I thought you were trying to give me a roll.
Post out like contrast and contradiction I'll probably wait at the end where he's like freaking out. Okay, hold on. Guys,
But you have to prove
Or
it
you
in that
okay, let's, Bryce isn't bored yet.
like how something in the past changed.
Or how. And they went back and.
Something about like not changing fate. Is that what you're gonna
Who knows?
Well, we
So,
did.
I thought they were
what
gonna take
topics
the
do you
gold
want to
body
start?
back, and I was like, how is that not gonna mess up?
think about topics. So kind of fate. Reality.
He's already no
Oh.
I think that's.
Yeah, that's not that much interesting.
Yeah, following your directions. That's absolutely part of Oh, yeah.
It started with the rich people joining the machine.
They are always impulsive.
However,
Okay, so any of those would be good topics.
it's 60.
Sounds like you're talking about how you should not have played with fate, you should not messed with history. So you could say something like,
I don't even know.
trust.
Oh, like step on a mountain and crush the surface.
What do you feel like you learned about fate? You don't have fate as a wording, yeah.
He was not very developed.
So you would write that as an example, and then you have action. So any events in the story will really help show that, especially when he sets off in the path. He realizes the butterflies on the stick. That is an action that relates to your theme, so you can identify those. So go through and highlight all of them. Good. So you gotta start and label it theme development, even more than enough, so you can just see how the author did that, and then kind of summarize them in lines.
Just try off.
You're welcome. What theme did you come up with?
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
So, not being.
You aren't supposed to. Don't mess with the stuff you aren't supposed to. Does that sound like a bumper sticker? Well, honestly, it could
Wait, that's what we did.
That was our bumper.
How could you word that a little more eloquently? Instead of the word stuff, for example.
Oh,
No, follow the.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. So maybe, literally, yeah. Definitely on the right track. And you have changes in character. Oh, yeah. Who are you thinking of?
What's the guy's name?
Eccles.
Eccles.
Good. So how is he at the beginning of the story?
So he's like brave and stuff. He's like
Courageous, can't wait to hunt big game.
Yeah.
Good. And how is he at the end of the story?
a little scrim boy at the end.
Yeah, he is.
Scrim boy.
Scrimp boy?
Yeah.
I had never heard that. Okay, so highlight all the examples of him changing. Remember, he pales, he starts to get nervous, he starts to panic and run
He
back
sees
to the
that dinosaur
machine.
TV again.
Yeah, highlight every one of those and label it as theme development, and then you kind of summarize all of that in the 5 boxes there. Good, you're on it.
All right. Here, so write it. How are they gonna write? Like he's courageous. He's brave.